It's so stupid, it's positively brilliant.
The Brilliant Sports Podcast.
Yo, you know what I think is positively brilliant?
Talk to me.
You might disagree with me on this.
Talk to me.
Canceling the NBA season.
Why?
I think it's a really rare time in history where there's absolutely no distractions. So we are all solely focused on this one event, this one protest, this one fight for rights. And adding anything else into the mix, especially something we care so much about, like sports, and specifically a sport we care so much about, I think you will create a little bit of a distraction, and you'll create a reason for why people maybe should stay home and watch the game instead of, going out to a march or like seeing what's going on in the march, etc. It just creates another news flow. And I think that if I was the NBA players, I would say the only way we're starting the season is if these demands are met, because I think you have a specific time in history where billionaires get to move in and get to change in once you fuck with their money. And there's a billionaire that owns every single NBA team. And that means you have, 32 or something like that, NBA team. There's 32 billionaires out there that will move politicians in whatever way they want to get that season started. So do not start the season without getting something out of it. 35 NBA teams. So get something out of it. You got leverage. You got these billionaires begging you to play basketball. You better get something out of that more than just donating money.
That's not a bad take. Smart, very well thought out. I didn't even look at it from that angle. My take on the situation is I don't think the NBA would be a distraction at all. In fact, I think that the NBA would help highlight what's going on out there in the streets even more. And we talk about history and we say, this is a particular moment in history and we got a chance to make real change. The civil rights movement was a particular moment in history. And guess what they were doing during the civil rights movement? Playing motherfucking sports. Like, we act like athlete activism hasn't been a thing forever. We act like protest through sports hasn't been a thing forever. Some of the greatest statements in social justice history have happened via sports, whether it was John Carlos and Tommy Smith during the Olympics when they stood up and put the black fist up, whether it was, what Jim Brown was doing, using his leverage as a celebrity to push change, whether it was Muhammad Ali, whether it was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Like, we all remember that historic picture where it was Jim Brown and Ali and Kareem and all of them together. I forgot what they were doing in that picture, but it was something centered around social justice, if I'm not mistaken.
Are you talking about the diner pick?
No, it wasn't a diner pick. I forgot.
What about, because there's the diner pick that's Sam Cooke, Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X.
No. This is all athletes.
Okay.
It's all athletes.
I think we have that picture in here somewhere. Actually.
It's Kareem, Bill Russell, Jim Brown. I think they're all in support of Ali, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
I don't remember. But, and of course, the most recent protest through sports, Colin Kaepernick. Like, so it's like, why? And we think about even with the George Floyd situation, what was one of the main memes that was going around? LeBron James and the I Can't Breathe t-shirt. That was based off Eric Garner. So I'm like, to think that we can't do both in a country is wild to me. Like it's wild.
So I think that's a really good point. And I think it's hard to find any hole in the point. The question I guess I would have is, does doing both pull any attention away? And you could be right. Maybe it doesn't pull any attention away at all. Like, we all have jobs and watch sports, and watching sports doesn't really take away from the job.
And I think we forget that the NBA is a job.
No, 100%.
That's those players' jobs. Like, 100%. They gotta get back to work.
I guess what I would say is this, is like, all right, if you want to get back to work, you want to do it, good, do it. But you have the owners by the balls right now. Exactly. So you might as well get something out of it. If you're holding someone by the balls, get something out of it.
To do what?
You have to ask for a specific goal. I would ask for a specific thing that you want. It doesn't even have to be the thing that's going to cure everything. It could just be a specific thing that you want lobbied, right? And then make sure that comes through. I mean, that's what I would do. Is you got a little opportunity right here. You have it. when you go play, it's not like you're getting paid more money to play. Yeah, they're going to give $500 million or something like that to social justice reform. But like, people have been throwing money at the problem that is civil rights for years. Like every year there's more millions of dollars thrown and nothing really seems to change. So maybe it's not money.
Give it up, baby. I'll take it, because at the end of the day, you can't change what's in a person's heart. So the only way to really dismantle systemic racism is by acquiring power and by creating your own systems and your own institutions. And you need money to do that.
So then that 500 million maybe shouldn't go to these charities. Like maybe
they should.
Well, that's the other thing that's tricky. Like, and I got to look into it more, but like someone told me like and please correct me because I only just read a little bit about it, but like someone told me Minnesota Freedom Fund only spent $200,000 bailing people out of the 34 million that they raised. Do you see that?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, I'm not mad at that, only because
Can you look that up
if they have a fund, then that means that they have employees. You know what I mean? Now they're able to hire more employees. That means that they're able to do more events. That means that they're able to do more things in their community. Like the more money these grassroots organizations have, the more they can do in our community. So I'm not mad at it. I just don't know what they want an NBA owner to do. Like the only thing an NBA owner could do is lobby for
politicians.
Whoever you feel is going to put those policies in place, that legislation in place that's going to change things.
Force them to place legislation, and then that's what it says right here. It is true. It does say that, right? So force them to change the legislation, and then force them to, you have to have a specific goal. I mean, one of the tricky things about movements that don't have one specific leader is that the goals seem to be lost on the movement. Like different parts of the movement want different things. And then once people see the movement gaining steam, other people that are part of the movement start going, all right, well, if y'all getting this, I want this. So like even this week, I think we saw like the Black Trans Lives Matter too pop up. And while yes, they do matter, and I think Black trans lives fits under Black lives, right? But the fact that you're protesting police brutality and Black trans people, as far as I'm concerned, are not being murdered by police. They're just being murdered by civilians. So that issue seems to distract.
I think it was one that got killed by police. I don't know. I know right. it definitely was at least one that got killed by police.
Right. I'm not saying that issue isn't valid, and I'm saying that isn't very important. But it does seem to me that like if clear goals and clear like accomplishments aren't stated, then it's very easy for like people to ask for a bunch of different things, and when everybody's asking for their own thing, nothing's going to get done. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I get it.
So
I mean, I think everybody just wants the police to stop killing unarmed Black and brown people. That we can agree on. But what I also think everybody wants, and I get it, is they want their stories to have as much light as the next story. Like it's very hard to walk into a store and you got a product and you see your product not getting no shelf space, baby.
Hey, bro.
Like that's just a thing. Like you want more, you want shelf space. So if George Floyd is killed, you want George Floyd, you want Mr. Brooks from Atlanta, you want him to get as much credit. You want the Black trans lives that are getting murdered to get as much attention. Like you want it all to get equal attention. But I don't think that's a people thing. That's more of a media thing. Yeah. The media when they got shelf space, when it's one story that's ticking and moving, that's what they go with. That's just the way it is. But that's what social media is for, right? Social media is so you can uplift and empower those other voices.
Yeah.
Like even with Breonna Taylor, I think we spoke about this last week. It's not that people don't care about Breonna Taylor's story.
Yeah.
Breonna Taylor's story didn't have a video with it.
Bro, we were saying last week how like people should animate it, and this dude made this like great like image by image version of what happened.
Oh yes.
You saw that? Yeah. And it made it super digestible and like very easy to understand, and like
I don't want that toon trauma.
Say again?
It was animated.
I don't want that cartoon trauma.
Say why not?
No.
It was just pictures though.
It's what?
It was just pictures.
Oh.
So they just drew it out.
Yeah, it's not Disney or anything. It's just like the slideshow of what happened, but it makes it very digestible. So instead of just saying this person's name and then her story falls into the fold of all the Black people who got killed by the police, you give a specific storyline to it, and you're like, oh shit, this is crazy what happened here. There's no justice at all for this. There's you can't dispute this at all.
I get it.
You know?
I get it. But to the NBA's point, I just don't see I don't see how them playing would distract anything.
You're
really
missing the point, though.
Taylor's
Shara,
passionate about this, bro.
Because, like,
Taylor is a band. All Taylor does is let Twitter think for her. She know there's
what are you
no thought
talking
to her
about?
own in your head.
Charlamagne.
Okay,
At the
tell
end
me
of the
why.
day, I told you before, them putting on shirts saying "Don't breathe" or kneeling and then going back to the game is not solving the
I
issue.
can't breathe, not don't breathe.
I can't. You know what I'm saying? Say what?
Taylor, you being on this podcast right now isn't solving the issue. Me being on this podcast isn't solving the issue. Andrew being on this podcast isn't
Why are you
solving
comparing
issue.
the basketball to what we're doing as like that's two different types of work?
Why is it? We get like 300,000 listens a week. Are we distracting 300,000 people from?
But we're talking about what's going on though. The NBA, they're not talking about what's going on. It's two different things.
No, that's a lie. They can easily protest through sports. They can wear the t-shirt.
Yeah, but then they go back to playing though.
They can talk about it and they can talk about it in their post game. And I'm gonna tell you why this is such a half-ass argument. These are the same people saying they want Colin Kaepernick to be back in the league. I was watching First Take today, and they was like, Colin is getting a workout with the Chargers. So you mean to tell me that one of the biggest symbols of social justice, Colin Kaepernick, it's not a distraction for him to be playing again?
No, it is.
Great argument.
I'm not arguing
It's a
that.
great argument. You got to give it up, Taylor.
No, you're right. No, I'm not saying that.
So you don't want Cap to get a job?
I didn't say that either. I'm
What are you
just
saying?
I'm saying what Schulz is saying though. You have to demand some type of power. That's what I'm saying. You just wearing a shirt's not demanding really a power. You're just saying how y'all feel about it. That's what I'm saying.
Why can't they do both though? We act like LeBron. First of all, LeBron James has always done both. So why can't LeBron actually play and still in the afternoon or the nighttime or daytime or whatever time be using his organizations to push change?
No,
like,
he can. He could do that too, but I just think that he has the most power where he could like not play until he wants something really happen. Like I just feel like he has more of a power than just giving.
Maybe there's an argument here, Taylor, where it's like you know how like in the NFL a player will like sit out his contract until his contract demands are met.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So, like,
that's what I'm saying. There has to be a goal.
Maybe there's a goal there, but I also understand Charlotte's point, which is they also have a platform, and maybe they can use that platform to educate more people. Now, some people might go, "Hey, we're educated, bro. Like this is all we've been focusing on for the last few months. It's not like anybody's going to learn that George Floyd was killed when they start watching a Lakers game.
Yeah.
Like we're aware of it." I guess what I would say is like if you do play, there has to be some sort of benefit for the cause. Mm-hmm. And it can't be, well, we're making money and then our community is going to get that money. Because let's be honest, yo. Most NBA players, black NBA players, most do not live in black neighborhoods, right?
They invest in black neighborhoods.
Sure, they invest in it, but they're investing, but they're also buying homes in tons of white neighborhoods around the world. And they're doing it, and they're allowed to do that because they want to make money and they want to increase the amount of revenue they have and change their family's life. And that's totally respectable. But what often happens is the money gets removed from the neighborhood, just like Indians do it, just like Asians do it, just like anybody who gets wealthy.
Yeah, but you got guys like LeBron James and Jalen Rose building schools.
Right, 100%.
Shaquille O'Neal got a 26-story apartment complex in Newark. Like, yeah, like I know some guys who just bought a big ass like 100+ unit building in the hood of Chicago. Like,
yeah.
You know, Luau Deng, salute to my dude David Gross and all those guys. But it's just like that's the type of things that they do with their money. So I get what you're saying. They're not living in the neighborhood, but they do invest in the community in a real way. And here's the other thing too. All right, NBA players don't play. So now are they going to be full-time activists? Because essentially that's what I'm thinking. When I hear Kyrie Irving say, look, we're not going to play, does that mean, Kyrie, you're going to be at every protest? Does that mean that you're going to be,
I'm not saying
what are you going to do? I would, like Dwight Howard, are you going to be a full-time activist now? Like,
oh, where are you going? Oh, your food's ready. Yeah, I think that Kyrie, it's very hard to trust his intentions because throughout his career, his moves have always been very self-serving. You know, like it's hard for me to believe that if Kyrie had the chance to win a championship, he would say, no, we shouldn't come back and play.
Yeah.
And he knows he has no chance this year. So he's like, well, fuck it. We might as well sit out and help this cause is important. But like everything Kyrie's done in his career has been for Kyrie and nobody else.
I was thinking about that. The Nets might actually have a chance though.
But not because KD not coming back.
Okay, he's not coming back?
Nah, he said he's not playing this season. And Kyrie can, barely play, 20 straight games anyway. I think LeBron is like, yo, I think we got this year. Let's go for it. Like, what the fuck are we waiting for?
I think they just want to get back to work like the rest of us. I want to get.
We've been working.
I know, but I want to be in the Breakfast Club studio. I want to be with you doing the podcast. I want to get back to work. I'm not gonna lie. I want to get back to doing what I love to do, even though I still do it every day. So I can imagine them. They're not doing it at all. Like, I just don't understand. I really don't understand the distraction logic, as if athletes have never, protested through sports before. Like, they've used those platforms to get that messaging out. Like, that logic of it makes zero sense to me. It's a distraction. How?
You know what it is, Charlotte? Someone needs to just go, and it's a really tough thing to do, but someone just needs to go, yo, this is what we want. And you're going to piss people off when you do it. But someone just at a certain point in time needs to go, this is what we want. This is the goal. And
I think they're going to be.
Tell me what it is. What is the exact goal?
I think the goal is trying to get some police reform pushed and passed that actually holds police officers accountable, not just accountable from a criminal standpoint, but this disqualifying that qualified immunity thing holds them responsible from what you was talking about last week with the civil standpoint. So now you as a police officer are held personally responsible financially for some shit. I think you need both, right? Because I think a person will, if they know they're not going to lose no money, they'll risk a trial in this police-loving society. You know what I'm saying? They'll risk that. But you got to have both. It's either pension or prison. Pick your poison.
So
you know what I'm saying?
So maybe that's it. Maybe it's it's called qualified immunity.
Qualified immunity. But the Democrats have that in their Justice and Policing Act. They want it disqualified. They want to disqualify qualified immunity.
So then
that's in the legislation they're trying to get passed.
So then that's it. Boom. That's a perfect thing. That's number one on the list. We want to get rid of what is it called? Qualified immunity, because that makes it possible for police to be prosecuted for their crimes. Because the reality of the matter is, motherfuckers are not going to stop making mistakes on a job.